Okay, first I'll open create a new composition. I want the composition to be 1920 by 1080. I'll be using 25 frames per second. My duration, I want to make it 1 minute 30 seconds. So I'll click OK. So the first thing I want to do, I'm going to work on my background. Bring my reference. Yeah, so this will be my reference.
Has life's unexpected expenses got you down?
Okay, so I'll be creating this first scene. Let me start with this first scene. So I want to recreate this first scene. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to be recreating the background. So let me start with the background. So I'll come over here. I'll create a new object or go on solid, right? Click on solid, add the background. Then I'll come over to effect and check on gradient. I'll click on this 4 color gradient and include it here. Okay, so what I want to do is, if you check the reference, here looks like so here looks a little bit green and here a light blue. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to drag this point here, also drag this point here. This point will be white. Let me make this one white. I'll make this part white too. Okay, so this is green. Let me reduce it something like this, and this I want to make it blue, just light blue. Okay, so I have something like this. Just leave it here. I'll bring in the whites. Just trying to make sure. So let me reduce the blue more, use it more, yeah. Also the blue, this is the blue. I just reduce the green. So let's see. I'm just playing with the different positions of the points so as to have something close to this. Okay, so I think I'm satisfied with this now. Yeah, so I'm satisfied with this. This will be my background. So not quite exactly, but very close. This will be the background I'll be working with. And the next thing I want to do, I want to bring in the box. So this box, I'll bring in the box. I will do that using this rectangle, but I would like to use the rounded rectangle too. Yes, I'll be using this, and easy peasy to just round it. I'll go to roundness. And just round it more. Okay, so I like to put everything at the middle. So yeah, I can reduce the size. Let me reduce the size. Let me reduce the size a little bit. Okay, so this is fine. Centralize again. Then the next thing I want to do now, let me come over to my projects panel and bring in the other. I'll bring around, move them to my timeline. So this is the image and this is the background, right? So what I would do, I would trackmate them to the rectangle or the square. So this and this, I'll trackmate them to this, so they're inside the rectangle, right? Let me reduce this image, reduce it and try to position it here. Bigger, take it up, it will be bigger, good. Then the background, let me reduce it a little bit and just look for a good position. Yeah, I think this is cool. Just okay, so we work with this like so it works, this works. So the next thing I'll do is for this make movement for the rectangle. I think the square still looks too big, right? So it comes from the bottom and then it goes up, right? It comes from the bottom, then it goes up. I want to reduce the rectangle a little bit. So the rectangle or the square, as it seems to be size, I will reduce it more. Okay, I think this is good enough. Also, I'll use it. So I think I'm okay with this. I'll use this. I'll take it down. Let me bring it down. Let me bring everything down. Okay. So I can go up. So let me start the motion from the square. So this is the square. The square moves from, let me go to position and click on P to bring the position. So I'll move 20 frames. Let me increase my viewport. So I'll move 20 frames, click again, and then come over here and drag it down. Let me use this. Take it down. Right? And so it goes like this. Okay. Let me ease this. Come in. Move.
Has life's unexpected.
Okay, so since everything moved together, the rectangle moved together, and also the rectangle, the background, and the image all moved together, I would parent them to a null object. So let me use a null object instead. I'll just cut this off and put it on my null object. Okay, so what I would do is that I would parent this angle, this shape, the background, and this woman. I'll parent everything to the null object, so they move. I think I'll have to redefine my movement. It's going up instead of down, so let me just delete this. Position 1, 2, click this again, and then just move it down. Okay, yeah, so it moves like this. Good. Let me ease this, so it moves like this, right? Good. Now next thing I'm going to do is for this image, this woman, you can see that it's at the top, there's this overshoot of the head. So I'm going to do that. What I will do is that I will duplicate the angry woman. I'll duplicate, Ctrl D, Command D to duplicate, and I will remove it from the track mat. And then what I will do is that while while the duplicate is selected, I'll come over to my pen tool and then just pick this part. Just select this part, and so it has been marked. So this part has been marked, and what I will do is I'll parent this duplicate, I'll parent it to the previous original image. So we have something like this. So they all move together because they are all connected to the null object. So it moves like this. Okay. Maybe I'll move my this in a little bit. Okay, So what I want to do is I want it to come in very fast. So I'll go to my graph editor. I want this motion to come in very fast, and when it comes in very fast, I want it to slow down at the end. So what I'll do, I'll make my graph editor look like this. So let's see the motion now. So it comes in fast and then slows down. It comes in fast and then slows down. Okay, so that is fine. So let's go back again and see what happened. So it comes in like this. It comes in before the background had low transparency. The transparency was very low, and then towards the end of the animation, it became more visible, right? So that's what I'm going to do to the background right now. I'll go to the background. Here's the background. So at the beginning, I'll go to T, click on T, the opacity will show up, and I'll make it 0. Let me click this part first, and then maybe somewhere around here, I want it to become more visible. Let me also pick a point. So at this point, I'll make it 0. Just go to 0. Okay, I think this is 2. Okay, let me delay it for some time. So it comes up at the point it shows up. Okay, fine. I think this is okay now. Easy ease. Okay, so what I want to do, I want this head okay, so I think this is looking good.
Has life's unexpected expenses.
So see, something happens, it goes and it scales down. It comes up very high, it comes up enlarged, and then it scales down while the image scales up, right? So what I want to do, I want to achieve that also. So I want it to come up, right, and then scale down. So maybe at this point it starts scaling down. So I'll just give it, maybe, let me check, this was let me use 20 frames, and then just one frame here. Since all of them are connected to the null object, so I'll also be working with the null object. I'll pick a point. So I'll be using scale. So I'll go to scale. Let me do U. Shift S. So I'll come over here. I'll click on scale. 10 frames. I'll also pick a point. So at this point, I want you to go down, maybe 90. Oops. Okay. Okay, so I've corrected that. Let me still bring it down a little. Yep. So this is nice. This is okay right now. So I've gotten that. Boom, boom. Okay. So next thing I'll do is that I would come by 10 frames. I will reduce this to say 90. Okay. So you now have these, goes up and then comes down. Okay. So let me also ease this. I also ease these, and then I would change the graph editor to something like this. I want it to come in very fast. I want it to scale very fast, and then towards the end it scales down slowly. Okay, so let's see how it looks. Reduce this. Okay, so we have something like this, moves and then slows down. Okay, I think maybe I will just move it up a little. Good. Okay, so that is it's already looking nice. Let me fit in this a little. So the next thing I want to do is that I want to start bringing in these labels. I want to start bringing them in. So first, I will draw a rectangle. Let me draw a rectangle. while drawing the rectangle, make sure that none of the layers is selected. So draw a rectangle, position, change the roundness. So I want to make the roundness is something around 40. Yeah, 40 is good. 40 is good. Make sure that the anchor points at the middle. Just hold command and then double click on this. It brings it to the middle. Then what I would do now is that let me check what was the text. Cable subscription. So what I want to do is that I'm going to put this inside a composition. So I'm going to pre-compose it. Just shift command then C. Just call it a label. And I'll double click on it. So what I want to do is that I want the label to just have this size. I don't want it to be this big. So I'll come over here, click on this region of interest. I would select the region I want to be my region of interest, come over to composition, and then click on crop, come to region of interest. So this would be my region of interest. Okay, so it's gonna move, and then I'll reposition it. So let me go back inside and type cable subscription. So I'll type cable subscription. I typed cable subscription. Let me just centralize it. I'll centralize it. I want the font to be, I want to use Montserrat. Okay, Montserrat is selected, premium. Also, always remember to centralize your anchor point. I want it to be centralized in this case though. So cable subscription is selected. Let me come back and see how it works. So it zooms in. Also, I'm going to bring in my icon. The transparency. Let me reduce the transparency a bit. I'm going to reduce transparency. Just click on T, and then maybe reduce it to something around. Let me off my background. Let me reduce it to something around, I think 60 is okay. Let me see how it looks. Yeah, I think 60 is okay. Good. So the next thing I'll do, I'll bring in my icon. Let me bring in the icon. Double click here. I'll bring in my chart icon. Let me scale it down. Let me scale it down to 1.8. 1.8 still looks a little bit. Let me scale to 1.5. Yeah, 1.5 is good. That is great. Okay, so this is what we'll have. So let me check. I think it's still too big. Okay. So see what happens. It scales up. And then further scales, right? So that's what I'm going to do. Exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to force this size looks too big. Let me reduce the size. So I'm going to use 85. So 85 works. I'm just comparing it with my reference. So I'm going to use 85. And I'll make sure, come here, I'll scale it, maybe move 10 frames or 20 frames, and then I would move to make it 0. Okay, so it scales up like this, right? Scales up. Okay, let me ease this. I'm going to ease this to good. Great, this is good. Okay, maybe just one more thing I'll do. My graph editor, I want it to scale, come in very fast and then slow down. Okay, so let's see how it looks now. Okay, I think this is good. Okay, and then maybe I'll still want it to further scale up, maybe to say 90. So it scales in and then scale more. Okay, so that's good. The next thing I'll do, let me see.
Has life's unexpected expenses got? Has life's unexpected expenses got? Has life's unexpected expenses got?
So I'll bring my icon. So the icon seems to be blinking. It just blinks, right? So I'll do that for the icon. I'll go inside for the icon. How I'm going to achieve that is, so let me see what happens here. It starts
Has
blinking
life's
from the
unexpected
onset,
expenses,
right? It comes in, and then it just start blinking. Okay, so let's do that here. Go to the label. I would first of all click on opacity. Yeah, we're going to be using opacity, so click on T. I will make it 100. So we could use opacity, we could also use scale, but in this case I think scale will work best. Let's use scale, not opacity. Let's use scale. Let's check. It's scale they use now. It was scaling, yeah, it was scaling. So I'm going to be working with scale. So I'll move every 2 frames. I will change the scale every 2 frames, right? I'll come over here. Let me increase this. Yes, so 1, 2. I'll make it maybe 1. I'll come 2 frame more, and then I'll make it 1.5. Yeah, so you have this. Boom. Okay, I think that was too much. Let me move it by 4 frames. Okay, so what I would do is that instead of me repeating myself all throughout, what I will just do is that I'll come over to I'll write a script. I'll write an expression. So I just click here, option, click on this, then give it an expression called loop out. I'll just click on loop out and see what happens. So it continues, the blinking just continues. So instead of me just repeating everything, I just allow it to just loop out like that. So if it's too fast, I will just expand it, O option, and then expand it. Boom. This is too slow, so I will bring it down. This is better, just a little bit. Maybe take it down a little. Okay. So this works for me. So
unexpected expenses got?
So this is mine. Okay. Okay, so one more thing I'm going to do to this layer, I'm going to add a drop shadow. So I'll come to Effects, I'll type drop shadow. I'll bring in drop shadow. Oops, not here. Maybe I'll take it to the label inside. So this is the shape. I'll put in a drop shadow on the rectangle. So I'll change some settings, maybe make this 50, take it this way. Maybe my transparency, opacity, maybe work with 40. Let's see how the outcome. Okay, I think this is still too much, so maybe transparency, the opacity, I'll make it so I'm reducing it instead. Let's work with 30 and see. Okay, one more thing, my softness, I need to enlarge it. Okay, this is getting better. Maybe my distance, let me move my distance a little. Okay, so I'll just leave it at 15. I think that works. Yeah, this works. So I'm okay with this. Good. Good. Okay. So what I will do now is that I'm going to replicate this for the other labels. So there is cable subscription, car refuel, car repair, utility bill, house rent, and others, right? So that is what I'm going to do right now. I'm going to replicate that. So, but before I do that, you're going to see that when this scales down, the image scale up, right? So I want to achieve that right now before I do replicate the labels. So as it's scaling down, the image scale up. So I'm going to come to the angry woman and go to scale, click on scale, X for scale, and then as it's coming down, this point where it's coming down, I will start scaling up the woman. So I'll maybe make it 90. So let's see what happens. Yeah. So I'll make it 90. Let's even say 100. Let's see. Is that too much? Too obvious. Okay. Maybe make it 95. Yeah. So I'm going to easy ease. And there you have it. Scales down. Yeah. I think it's too sudden. It's too fast. I can make it 20 frames. Yeah, this looks more subtle. Good. Okay, so what I will do now, I want to replicate the other labels, these other labels. So first I'll come to my project panel. So one thing you don't want to do is that you don't duplicate over here, you don't duplicate on your timeline. If I do Ctrl D or Command D to duplicate, and then I go inside any of these duplicates, even if I change the name and I go inside the duplicate and I come over here and change this to say gas refill, it's going to replicate on all the duplicates, right? So what you don't want to do that. Instead, what you do instead is to come over to the project panel. So on this project panel, you can now duplicate it over here. So duplicate, Ctrl D, so duplicate, and then you bring it inside. Okay. So my project panel is looking messy. What I'm going to do at this point is that I'm going to organize it. We'll start putting things into different folders. So I'll create some folders. Then I'll call this one comps. So all my comps will come in here. All my compositions. I'll create another one. I'll call it videos. All my videos will come in here. Another one, images will come in here, and sound will also come in here. Right. So depending on how my project is, I'll create more folders to organize things. So I'll bring in all my images. These are the images I brought in. So I'll move all of them to images. Then all the comps that have been created, I will move all of them to comps. All the compositions, the video, this video, I'll move it to video. The labels, I'll move them to comps too. Yeah. And solid, okay, I'll leave solid where it is. And so yeah, so this makes my project file, my project panel always looking neat instead of me having to start looking for things. I just know where they are in my project panel. So moving on. So I can now go inside and change the position. So let me work with size. Let me go to size. Then I'll check this. Since I'm working with the X axis, I can just reduce. Let me change the text to gas refill. Bring it to the middle, and then I'm going to reduce this. Okay, so this works. I'll put this here back, and then I also reduce the composition itself. So click on Command Ctrl K. I'll reduce this to till I get what I want. Keep reducing. Yeah, I think this is okay. Yeah, this is nice, so I'll leave it this way. Okay it. So I'll come back to my comp and I'll just position it. So let me position it where somewhere around here. So I'll put it over here. I'll bring this one back. Okay, so let's see. Moves. Okay, so what I could just do now is I could copy the keyframes here, scale keyframe, and then paste it here too. Good. Right. If you notice over here, that further scaling did not happen on the others. It just
Has
happened,
life's unexpected expenses got?
it happened only on the cable. It happened only on the first label, the cable subscription. So what I will do, I will remove this here. I just want to remove this one here, and we'll have this. Okay, and obviously you know they won't all come up at the same time. I'll just give it some distance. 1 2 3 4 keyframes. Okay, so this is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to replicate this for other labels. So we have house rent, you have utility, house rent, utility, and car repair. So all I will do, I'll come over here, I'll come to my project panel and then Ctrl D 3 times, then move all of them inside here, and now I can now position them all. Position this one here, position this one here, position this one here. Let me see. Yes, 1 2 3. So I'll position this here, I'll position this here, and I'll position this here. Okay, good. So one more thing I might do, I might have to reduce the height of my labels, of my rectangles. They look too big, so I will do that. Eventually. So I'll stack them correctly. Let me see. Yep. Okay. Let me go on and change this. So this one is house rent. So I'll just come over here. I'll change this to house rent. So here we have it. So what I'll do, I'll just copy the scale keyframes. I'll paste it here, come over here, I'll paste it here, come over here, and I will paste it here. Now remember, I said after every four frames, 1 2 3 4, 1 2 3 4. Let me expand this. Yes, 1 2 3 4, and then I'll bring this in. So we have something like this. Okay, this is looking good. So I don't want it to look like it came from the left hand side, came in first, and then we have things from the right hand side. So I want to stack them. So I'll bring this one here, I'll bring this one here. 1 2 3 4. Okay, so let's see how this look like. Good, this is better. So one more thing, I want to reduce the height. I may have to go to each of them individually. So let me come over here. Beautiful. Okay, so that ends this tutorial. I'll be sharing the other scenes in check. I believe you learned 1 or 2 things. So for the other tutorials, check the link on the description. Follow, like for more. Cheers.